Yassi, why don't you tell us what we're going to be listening to next?
I guess we can listen to Vay Az Halam by Ehaam.
All right. So without further ado, here we go. Alright, so that was Vay Az Halam by Ehaam. And as per tradition, why don't you just give us a general overview about what the song is about, maybe translate the title and also a few lyrics.
Right, so Vay Az Halam means oh my feeling, or like oh this feeling I'm feeling. It's that kind of vibe, and he's basically like perplexed about this like girl. It's very like lovey again, and like he starts with saying like Man osher to Leila ton mahiziba, which means like I am the lover, you are the like you're the night and the beautiful moon in the sky. Um, so yeah, boys take notes if you like a girl. And he's just like talking about this girl and like saying that she makes him feel a certain way, and like this describes her like like the beautiful moon. And yeah, he's just trying to like say like oh like she's made me feel this way like boy as in it's kind of that vibe.
Interesting. So love seems to be a recurring theme in the music that we've been listening to today.
Yeah.
Would you say that this is like the most prominent theme like within the arts in Iran?
Yeah, love is a major theme, but it's not very like it's not explicit at all. It's very like endearing, and it's in
Hmm.
a lot of like you can say poetry or song or whatever. The love could also refer to a family member or a friend, and it's all about like giving like a respect to something. And in this case, like the lyrics are actually like quite modern. Like everyone can listen to it and understand if you listen to it like two or three times because it is a little bit more formal. Um, but again, it is modern. But he tries to make it a little bit more traditional. For example, I had a conversation with Ethan about the album cover, and it's these two girls, and they both have a sitar, and they're both holding a sitar. They're wearing traditional outfits, and the pattern is very traditional. You can see it on carpets. So he's trying to like add that element in it too.
Mm, that's actually kind of interesting, like this thing about like love as like beyond just like romantic love. Because like a couple episodes back we were talking about Malaysia. Like love is a big thing back at home as well, but it's kind of like that trashy type of, like that's the kind of stuff that we tend to focus on. It's very dominant, but it's not something that most people would like to be dominant. But people eat that shit up, so I guess whatever. I'm guessing it's not quite the same in Iran. Do you think that this might be kind of going out of the scope of the song a little bit. But do you think that when people speak about love in Iran, is it more like that? Like it's not strictly like a romantic thing. Like we can have many conversations about, love for family members, love for friends, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely like an open conversation there. And as we've seen, it's a prominent theme. So these are like the more general songs that like everyone listens to. But then if you want
Mm.
to talk about love in an explicit form, those are the very like clubby songs that people listen to. Like it's not
Mm.
like songs like that. None of them have like a traditional elements or like there's no respect to like the tradition, say through album cover or through lyrics. Those ones are just very modern and very like let's just get drunk and let's just dance the night away kind of thing. Um, but yeah, but other than that, love is a very it's an open sky. Like you can talk to anyone about like love a friend or like family, and a lot of songs are actually love for country. I think that's important to mention, and a lot of
Hmm.
Mm.
songs have that sense in it. Like whether it be explicit or implicit, there's more often than not there's a reference to love for country.
Mm. And this particular song, you mentioned this is not one of the kind of clubby
No,
songs that people would. But
no.
so in what context would this just kind of be, you know, I have my headphones in, I'm just listening to music, like in what context would
This one is like if you're hanging out like at home and you just want to throw some music on, you definitely have this on in the background. A lot of people like to dance to this song. I don't know how, but they always find a way.
Mhm.
Like they'll just stand up, sway, and just like feel good. It's like a very feel good song. I've been into a few cars that have this song playing, the specific song, and yeah, it's just like a feel good kind of thing.
Hmm. And also you mentioned our conversation about the album cover um, and I was wondering if you could just share with the audience what you were saying about the design of the album cover, the outfits that the two women are wearing, and maybe the dance that they appear to be doing.
Yeah, so the cover is a drawing of two girls in traditional Iranian dress, and like it's the national dress. And I believe they're both holding a setar or chartar, which is a traditional instrument. It's like our old version of a guitar, but it's literally
Hmm.
called setar because it has three strings. So se is three,
Hmm.
tar is string, so setar. And you see that kind of drawing in a lot of postcards actually. Like if you go to Iran, like if you like go to like a gift shop or something, like you see that a lot because it's very like it's like a respect to like the past and tradition. And within this album cover, there's like a pattern, I believe, on the background, and you see that pattern a lot on carpets. It's like a very traditional pattern that is used quite widely.
Hmm.
Hmm. Speaking of like traditional dress and traditional instruments, like do people still wear traditional dress often? Is that still a thing? And do people still play traditional instruments nowadays?
People still play traditional instruments. Like we have two traditional instruments at home. My uncle's wife plays a traditional instrument. Like it's a thing. Like a lot of people push their kids to learn traditional instruments because it's just a little bit quirky and different. Not gonna lie.
Oh wow,
Um,
okay. Not like other girls.
Sorry, but yeah, like, there is definitely a push for it, and a lot of people still play it. But traditional dress is a lot less common. Like
Hmm.
no one wears it out on the street. You could have a traditional dress from when you were younger and you were in a play at school, aka myself. But other than that, you
Hmm.
have no reason to have one, really, unless you
So
really
like
want to.
even for like big events or something, like you wouldn't be caught like wearing a traditional dress.
No, like I know in a lot of cultures, like for example, like weddings is a big thing for you to wear a traditional dress.
Yeah.
But Yeah, but it's not a thing in Iran. Like
Hmm.
you don't really wear traditional dress. Like you could wear if you want to, and you want to have like a mini photo shoot in your garden. I don't know, but you don't really need one, and no one really wears it.
And what are the specific like characteristics? What characterizes traditional outfit um, in
It's
Iran?
very colorful, first of all,
Mm.
and it typically has like this headwear with like these obviously they're not coins, but it's the closest thing I can like link it to. These like stringy and the like coins around it, and they make like a dingly sound. And
Mm.
you have for the girls, you have like this shirt that you wear. It's like long sleeved, and like typically the part around the wrist is like a different color. It's typically gold. It could vary, and you have this like jacket thing that you wear over it. Again, the closest thing to relate that to is like when like guys wear suit and they have that like thing they put on and then they put on their coat. An undercoat.
Mhm.
Is that what it's called?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Y-
Uh,
Yeah, kind of like that. Like that's what they put on top. Obviously, it's not
hmm.
an undercoat. It's just like they put it on it, and it has to like match normally the trousers that you wear. And the trousers
Mm-mm-mm.
are very like colorful, and they could be white, they could be green, they could be red. Like the one that I had when I was younger was all red, white, and gold. And then they're typically like really baggy as well. And that's like one version of it. The other version of it is like a really big skirt that's like really flowy.
Mm-mm.
Like when you're spinning around, it just goes up. And yeah, it's all very colorful and fun, and it has like dangly bits. It's quite cute.
Hmm. So would I be right in saying, since people don't really wear this stuff anymore, but like earlier you mentioned that, like images like the one in this album cover like appears in postcards and stuff, would it be right for me to say that the traditional dress has still remained as a kind of like symbol of culture,
Oh,
so to
for
speak?
sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like when you think about Iran, you think about like the monuments, you think about the clothes, you think about the instruments and like everything that used to be, you know. A lot of people
Mm-mm-mm.
try to hold on to that, and you're definitely correct in saying that it's a form of symbol.
Hmm. All right. Yasi, why don't you surprise us with our next stop on the tour? What are we going to be listening to next?
Should we listen to Davo by Amir Boskolov?
All right, so here is Davo by Amira Boss Golab.